Funding provided by...
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we're committed to our foundation of personalized service while treating our customers like family and valuing our employees. Fairway Meat and Grocery. That's what we're all about.
By Musco Lighting, the sports lighting specialists, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community. It is Championship Friday, game 1 of 3. To lead us into the final day of the 2021 season here in Fort Dodge, Iowa. It's Class 3A number 1, the Davenport Assumption Knights, and number 2, Mount Vernon. You call it a chalk tournament, Laura Leonard. I'm Paul Yeager, glad to have you here. And Laura, we're back to normal and back to a great softball game headed. You looking forward to this one?
This is going to be a great one. I think both staffs have really good pitchers, but really potent offenses. I think we're going to see a lot of runs scored here in this ball game.
We could also see some good pitching. Mount Vernon, it is their 6th trip to state, but this is their first time in the state finals. It has been big pitching, but also big hitting.
Yeah, and that's the hitting we talked about. They have outscored their opponents since the tournament started back in regional play. They've only given up 2 runs in tournament play, so that's the pitching side of it, but they've scored 38 runs on their opponents.
Sounds familiar with only giving up 2 runs. The same can be said about the Assumption Knights. Their 6th trip to state, Laura, but last year they played on the final day. But on the consolation diamond, it's all about the redemption tour. How's it going so far?
Well, I think very well, and that's kind of been an unspoken thing for this team. They haven't really talked about it, they haven't addressed it, but they've thought about it all season long, and you look at that battery, Wohlers and Niji, that's the heartbeat of this team.
Let's meet the reserves and the starters with Mr. Tim Fitzpatrick.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and softball fans, and welcome to Rogers Sports Complex and this 3A championship game between the visiting team, the Mount Vernon Mustangs, and the home team, the Assumption Catholic Knights. Now let's meet your non-starters and assistant coaches for the visitors from Mount Vernon. Number 1, Sydney Schultz. Number 5, Avery Plotty. And number 8, Elsa Appleton. Your assistant coaches, Lori Moss, Sammy Moss, Libby Ryan, and Jo Lynn Winkler. Here are your starters for the Mount Vernon Mustangs, leading off and playing left field, number 12, Nadia Talecki. Batting second at shortstop, number 3, Maya Bentley. Batting third in center field, number 7, Lauren Ryan. Cleanup hitter for the Mustangs, doing the pitching, number 14, Jenna Sprague. Batting fifth and doing the catching, number 2, Kenna Rollinger. Batting sixth in right field, number 6, Ashlyn Steen. Batting seventh at second base, number 11, Addison Gukin. Batting eighth, the designated player, number 15, Lauren Schwartzendruber. And batting in the ninth position at third base, number 10, Lily C. Your flex player playing at first base, number 9, Cameron Brand. Head coach for the Mustangs, Robin Brand. And now let's meet the team from Assumption Catholic. Here are your non-starters. Number 3, Bella Stoffrigan. Number 5, Bella Slichting. Number 7, Bailey Peterson. Number 9, Emily Yatoni. Number 11, Leah Morrow. Number 13, Abby O'Dean. Number 15, Trinity Kelly. Number 17, Molly Rowe. Number 18, Catherine Rowe. Number 27, Jessie Wardlow. And number 28, Kelly Miller. Your assistant coaches, Mike Ackerman, Hannah Kelly, and Erica Ralphs. Now here are your starters for the Assumption Knights. Leading off and playing second base, number 2, Olivia Wardlow. Batting second at first base, number 37, Helen Sons. Batting third, doing the catching, number 36, Anna Wohlers. Cleanup hitter for the Knights in right field, number 32, Sid Rowe. Batting fifth at shortstop, number 1, Maddie Loken. Batting sixth, the designated player, number 44, Libby Madden. Batting seventh in left field, number 6, Lauren Loken. Batting eighth at third base, number 10, Izzy Krogman. Batting ninth in center field, number 20, Katie Anderson. And your flex player doing the pitching, number 31, Bella Nidji. Head coach for the Assumption Knights, Ron Farrell. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the home plate area. The umpires for this contest as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. At first base, Mike Christner. At third base, Troy Nicholas. And calling the balls and strikes today, Brian Cole. All right, who's ready for state championship softball?
I am. Laura Leonard is. We're ready for this game between number 1 and number 2. You just met the players. Let's see where they are going to line up defensively. Lauren Loken, Katie Anderson, and Sydney Rowe in the outfield left to right. At third, Izzy Krogman, Maddie Loken at short, Olivia Wardlow at second, and Helen Sons at first. The battery is Anna Wohlers at catcher and Bella Nidji, the pitcher for the Knights. There's a look at Bella Nidji, and one of the keys to the game, Laura, was Bella Nidji for Assumption. Why?
Well, she needs to hit spots. She needs to be consistent, work the ball in and out, up and down, keep these hitters off balance. You know, I think a lot of people think that Assumption's going to run away with this game. I beg to differ.
.64 ERA is pretty good, and this is the lineup trying to dent that a little bit. It'll be Telecki, Bentley, Ryan, Sprague, followed by Rollinger, Steen, Buchan, Schwartzendruber, and Lily C. in that spot. Laura, what are they going to have to do, Mount Vernon, to find some type of offense?
Well, it kind of goes back to Nidji. They have to be disciplined at the plate. They can't chase pitches. They can't go after pitches out of the zone. And they have to fear no one. They're coming in here with a lot of confidence, no fear. They're going to play with a lot of heart, a lot of intensity, and they feel like they can win this ball game.
2:37 on Friday, July the 23rd. It is time for the first pitch. Assumption. There's a look at head coach Robin Brand in her first title game. There's a look at Nadia Telecki, who will dig in from the left side. Mount Vernon in their maroon top, sleeveless Mustangs written on the front in white and white pants, and the Knights in their all-black uniforms. 90 degrees at first pitch. And we're underway at 2:38.
And that's going to be interesting. The players choose what uniforms they're going to wear for Assumption, and they've gone with the all blacks in a 95-degree day. Let's see if it's going to wear on them at all as this game progresses.
First pitch strike, second pitch changeup is hitting a little tapper between the catcher and first. It's going to be a base hit for Nadia Telecki. She beat that one out. Didn't hit it solid, Laura, just got enough.
Just got on top of it, a little hopper out in front, and she's got the speed to get there and beat the throw just ahead of the throw. Now you got the speed on the bases, and Assumption's going to have to adjust the defense on the infield.
Maya Bentley will come in from the left side as well, the junior. First pitch swings through it. 0-1. Bentley on the season, a .518 hitter, 9 home runs, 42 RBIs, had a big quarterfinal game. When she had a big base hit that was their only extra base hit in that game, and they're going to need her now at 0-2.
A little surprised that they didn't try to lay down the bunt, and or you get the base hit like that.
Right through the second base hole. Going to third is going to be Telecki, and it's going to be runners at the corners. Nobody out for Mount Vernon.
This is why my coaching days were very short. I would have bunted, but she had confidence in the player at the plate, the hitter at the plate. Swings through a couple of pitches right away, but then sends one right back the middle. Mount Vernon in business here with runners at the corners.
Sometimes, Laura, it's not about how hard you hit it. It's just where it lands so far. Mount Vernon has had one hard hit and one bloop, and we'll see what can happen now with Lauren Ryan. The third place hitter swings and misses at pitch one.
You know, and the Assumption defense was adjusted a little bit, drawn in a little bit. And so the angle to get that ball right back through the middle was the opportunity, and Bentley took advantage of that.
A 361 hitter swings and misses. The throw down to second. Here comes the throw. No throw. Telecki will score the first run of the game, and the Mustangs strike first.
You get those runners at the corners, and you try to take advantage of it. Defenses have different setups on how they're going to defend against the runners at the corners. This throw sails on Wohlers. Otherwise, she gets up good, has a good peg on it, but it just sails high, and you're out of position. You can't receive that ball and come right back with the throw to the plate.
Lauren Ryan swings and misses. First out of the inning, first strikeout for Niji. So the pitcher bats here in the first with the runner at second. First pitch swing and miss. So now, Laura, we've seen a lot of swings and misses from Mount Vernon. It looks like they're under a lot of pitches. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, seeing a lot of the rise ball from Niji. She's got 3 pitches that she throws really well.
Back to second to get Bentley on the throw behind. That throw did not sail on Wohlers that time. Caught stealing is Bentley for the second out of the first.
Just gets caught a little too far off of second base, and Wohlers recognizes it and shoots a rocket down to second base, and they throw behind the runner, able to tag her out.
Sprague, the 1-1. Lays off.
Now going back to Niji, talking about the pitches that she throws, 3 of them very well. And we've talked to multiple coaches this week that have said, you know, a lot of pitchers and pitching coaches try to teach their pitchers 6-7 pitches, and you don't really get command of all 6 pitches. If you can throw 3 pitches really well and have command of those, you're going to be successful, and I think that's what you see with Niji.
So now it's 3 balls, 2 strikes.
3 balls,
2 outs.
strikes.
I got my hand signals from home plate umpire Brian Cole incorrectly there. Now it's strike 3, Sprague down, second strike out of the inning, but not before Mount Vernon scores first.
Coach.
There's a good look at that rise ball right there.
You're welcome.
The rise is on, and now it's going to be up to the Assumption Knights to hit against this defense of Telecki. She'll go out to left, Ryan in center, Steen in right. Lily Sees at third today, Maya Bentley at short, Addison Gukin at second, and Cameron Brand at first. The battery, Kenna Rollinger is the catcher, Jenna Sprague is the pitcher. What type of pitcher is Jenna Sprague?
Well, she was very cryptic about what she would throw. She didn't give us a whole lot of idea. She has great command of her pitches, and she does move the ball and locate the pitch very well, and I think has total confidence in Coach Brand calling those pitches from the dugout. And Coach Brand says, where I call it, she hits those spots.
You saw the number 247 on there. That is already added to her school record for strikeouts in a career. And this is the lineup of Assumption she'll face. Wardlow Sons, Wohlers, 1, 2, 3. Rowe, Loken, Madden in the middle, and Lauren Loken, Izzy Krogman, and Katie Anderson, the bottom half of your lineup. So if you're Davenport Assumption, Lauren Leonard, what do you got to do?
Have the energy, bring the energy. And Coach Farrell said when they get to that annoying level of energy, he even gets annoyed by it, you know they're locked in. And then 7, 8, and 9, they have had production from the bottom part of their order all tournament long. They have been the ones that have come through for them, and in the season as well, but here in the tournament, 7, 8, 9 have come up big.
Olivia Wardlow to lead things off for the Assumption Knights, the senior. Will slap it. offers the first bunt, and it goes off of the umpire. Brian Cole kind of caught him right off the face.
I think Rollinger just missed it, and it just went right in to his mask.
Can you shorten the towel just a little bit?
Yeah.
All right.
So you hear Cole make the jog out to ask Sprague to shorten that towel just a little bit. Any little distraction.
Oh, no, you're good.
And I think
Also gave him time, too.
I was just going to say that. Gave him just a little bit of time to be able to go out and clear the cobwebs because he took it square on the mask.
Pitch lifted high in the air to right center, drifting towards right center and getting behind Ryan, heading for third, and it's going to be a stand-up triple for Olivia Wardlow, and we have a player down for Mount Vernon. She's now gotten up. I think the shoe came off, but the ball, Laura, is 10 mile an hour. The wind is 10 mile an hour. That ball just kept going on Ryan. She hit the sign out there, the throw in from Steen, and by that time, Wardlow was standing up at third.
And you're right, the wind did take that ball, it sails, and you could see that Ryan's shoe got caught under the fence, and she put her hand up, tried to call for time, but Steen right there to get the carom off the fence and get the ball in. But a great start here by Wardlow with that long fly ball.
There's a look at Ryan. She's smiling at least. I know we had quite the meeting of the fence with one of the players last night in that 2A game. Helen Sons looks at a first pitch strike. She looks down the line to Coach Ron Farrell for the signs. Sons, a .359 hitter, no home runs, 23 RBIs, and I'm guessing Wardlow is on base a lot of the time for her. But sometimes it's not about extra base hits, it's singles.
Yeah, and you want to be able to, in this situation, put the ball in play, make the defense make the play, not worrying about...
Squeeze is on. Wardlow is going to score, and it's going to be Sons with an RBI bunt sacrifice. So the sacrifice goes 2-3 RBI. Go ahead, Laura, sorry.
No, and just the thought process at the plate of not thinking home run at that situation, a great call. Put the ball in play, lay it down. Runner started on contact, and she got in there very easily, so they give up the run to get the out.
Popped up, coming in and making it at the last moment is C. She had a hard time seeing it in the sun, and the wind again, Laura. I did not think the wind was going to be, but two factors, the wind and the backspin. Anything chalk line behind is next to impossible on a play like this.
You could see that three players converged on that, and each and every one of them thought they had it, and at one point in time called for that ball to be theirs, but eventually C was able to pull it in, and it was a little bit of an adventure.
Sydney Rowe, first pitch strike on the second offering from Sprague, is right at the low part of the batter's area, and it's misses, so it's a ball and a strike. The pitch by Rowe, swung on, popped up on the infield, going after it and missing it and landing in fair territory in front of Brand.
Foul ball. Nobody touched it, and it went out. It went out of play.
It went out of play. I thought maybe her glove had gotten it before it went out. Missed
You didn't
it.
see anything, Mike? Yeah.
Yeah, it missed the glove of Brand. And so it's not where the ball lands if it's touched, right? If it's touched in fair territory, it's fair.
Correct. If it's in fair territory, it's just like a bunt. If you let a bunt roll foul, even though it's been in fair territory, nobody touches it. That's the same kind of thing. It lands in fair territory but goes out of the field of play. It becomes a foul ball.
The 2-2 to Rowe. Popped up again right side. This is right at the line, going over, and somehow grabbing it is Gukin. And it is an adventure in the defensive field today, but that gets out of the inning. The Mustangs do with only giving up a run. Assumption, boy, Gukin there makes the grab and makes anybody nervous, especially if you're Coach Brand.
One run and one hit. No errors and no one left on.
Well, let's take a look at the Class 3A tournament bracket. And it was Assumption over Clark on Monday night. And Anamosa and Atlantic in a great 11-inning game on Monday night. That one went almost 3 hours. And then Assumption won in the semifinal. Mount Vernon knocked out Esterville Lincoln Central, and Williamsburg sent West Liberty home, or to the consolation side, and then Mount Vernon bested Williamsburg, who was in the championship game last year in 3A, lost to Albia in that title game. And here's how we end up with Assumption and Mount Vernon. We talk about the temperature, 90 degrees. The wind is out of the south-southwest at 13 miles an hour. Feels like 99 degrees, and it feels like a whole lot more pressure with any ball hit more than 10 feet in the air, Laura.
We saw it 3 different examples in that last half of an inning. A ball that went out to the outfield, 2 that were in the infield, and the defense just had trouble. They've got to keep those feet chopping. They've got to try to get underneath it, get square to that ball, but it's going to be tough as the wind keeps pushing it out on our field towards right field.
This plate to center sits south to north, straight up, so it sits a little different than a lot of fields. Rollinger, Steen, and Guken due up for Mount Vernon in their half of the second. 1-1 our scores. We begin the top of the second inning.
Ball.
First pitch from Niji is a ball.
Rollinger, a multi-sport athlete, as a lot of these players on the Mount Vernon team are, and Coach Brand says she likes it like that, that these kids.
Rollinger puts a charge into it to left. It's over the left fielder, Loken. Digging for second is Rollinger, and the multi-sport athlete, Laura, runs down to second with a double.
You know, I got to keep my comments shorter because these kids are starting to knock the ball around the yard and a lot of action, and she got that pitch right at the right level and drove it over the head of Loken out there in left field.
Got her hands extended and just over Lauren Loken.
5 for 2, thank you.
And we're gonna have a courtesy runner here. And you heard Robin Brand say 5 for 2, so that's Avery.
5 for 2, number 5
Avery
for 2.
Platty will run, and Platty has run for Rollinger most of the season. They were soccer, Platty is one of the top soccer players that they have at Mount Vernon, another one of the good team sports. She's quick, aggressive,
Play.
and she's at second base as a courtesy runner. Ashlyn Steen looks in. Her first pitch is off the plate, ball 1.
You take that pitch and you get a chance to see how the defense is going to move and react.
Ball.
Next pitch to Steen is outside as well. Another one of those slappers. The 2-0 coming from Bella Niji.
Cut.
Called strike. So we talked about in the open, Laura, both
2 balls,
teams
1 strike.
had only given up 2 runs since tournament play, regional tournament play started, and they both give up a run in the first inning. You said it. Expect some offense. You had that one.
I did, but I ducked. Flinched a little.
Fouled back into the screen right above Laura Leonard. We are underneath the center stands, just offset from home plate a little bit. You can see us if you look really closely. There's Laura. Beth's over to her right, and I'm over here. And we're glad you are where you are watching us as Ashlyn Steen goes out on strike, swing and a miss. Third strikeout of the game for Niji, first out of the inning.
Good location on this ball as it breaks away from the left-handed hitter. It's coming right down the pipe, and then it just breaks away and tails away. It's hard to catch up to.
Addison Guken fouls that one off her bat. Now Addison, another one of those 4 sport athletes. Guken had a home run against Williamsburg in the semifinals and got done talking to her, and I knew she was a freshman, and I said, how old are you? 15. I go, she is an incredibly well-spoken 15-year-old.
It's a pleasure to talk to her.
Hit in the air towards left, coming in, and it drops in the triangle, going to third, and it's going to be most likely out if the tag is there. But going to second is Guken, so that'll be a hit advancing on the throw. But Rollinger is erased. Is again, is that a challenge, Laura? Or just in that tough area?
I think as far as the base runner is concerned, I think she had to read what was happening. She needed to be off a little bit more off of the base if she wanted to take it. Otherwise, she should have been content just staying on second base. But heads up running by Gukin to get down to second base and replace her.
So that'll be a hit. Fourth hit of the game for Mount Vernon. And that strike goes into the foul area. There's a look at Gukin again down at second base. Yeah, good heads up running. You just run until they tag you, but yeah, no reason to go.
Yeah, Platty should have just stayed right there on the base when it was right in front of her rather than try to take advantage of the misplay or the wind-aided ball. And they would have had runners at first and second. But, you know, you get caught up in the heat of the moment, and your instinct is, oh, they dropped it, I need to advance the base, instead of reading the play and just going, okay, I got to get back and be safe on second base.
Throw down to second, goes into center field, but this time they stay on the base. They're listening to you, Laura.
Well, that's the first time anybody's ever listened to me.
You're right.
One
it is.
ball,
There is a lot of
strikes.
action in this game.
There is. I know, and it's good. And I think that's what we kind of expected coming into. You talk to both coaches. They're both very confident in what their teams can do and how they got here. And you could just tell that it was going to be a very competitive, intense game.
As the ball heads down towards the field tarp, which I think is collecting dust this week. I can't quite say it won't be used. We got a couple of games to go yet, but there hasn't been a threat of rain in quite some time. And as I was told earlier today by someone, they were glad it finally got hot up here because it had been a nice upper 80s, a couple of days at 90, but great weather here. This breeze is saving a lot of us. Changeup is going to be hit into left for a base hit. Going home to try to score. Throw is cut off, and scoring a run is Addison Gukin. I'm not sure that Suns needed to cut that one off. She does, and it's runners at first now with Schwartzendruber with a base hit.
Now that's a challenge right there. Coach Brand sending the runner, and Gukin going home. She's going to challenge Loken out in the outfield with the throw, and I think you're exactly right. I don't think they needed to cut it. It was on line. It would have been a very close play at the plate.
Schwartzendruber stayed at first. Maybe they were thinking she would round it and go to second, but it's 2-1 now, Mount Vernon. Swing and a miss by Lily C., the 9th place hitter. Quick throw down to first. Wohlers not afraid to throw that ball. I think she's thrown down to second twice, down to first twice. They're only in the second inning. Reminds you of some catchers of the past of Assumption. You know, that's kind of been a solid position over the years. Well hit to left. That one is high into the air, and it is gone! 2-run homer. Lily C. Touch 'em all.
Good job, Mike. Good job.
Now that was a perfect piece of hitting. The way that she adjusted at the plate, that ball was up in the zone. She adjusted the hand. She got it at the top part at the peak and drove it out to left field. And you knew right away when it left the bat.
That is about the third hit Mount Vernon has had two in this inning to that area of they've been able to get around on that pitch. You had the very first hit of the inning with Rollinger, and then you had a foul ball just a moment ago, and then the home run by C. Laura, you talked about 7, 8, 9 being big for Assumption. 7, 8, 9's not been too bad for Mount Vernon.
No, it has been very productive here in the second inning.
Cut.
Pitch strike to the leadoff hitter, Nadia Talecki. And the top of the order bats here in the second with 2 out. Assumption they haven't trailed in this tournament. They're down 4-1 here in the second. A lot of softball to go.
Cut.
Catch is part of the plate.
I thought I just saw maybe a little action in their bullpen, maybe starting to warm up. Maybe Leah Morrow down there.
We will see how that develops. The 0-2 coming. Outside, good location.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, early in the ball game, in your assumption, you know you have a powerful lineup that you can produce runs, and you just have to stop it right here and get yourself back on the offense and try to get some of those runs back. And no need to panic right now. You've got to have confidence in what you do, stay with what got you to this ball game. And I think they will do that, settle down, just shake off this inning where they've given up the home run and a couple of base hits.
Well, let's go back to Assumption at the bat. Everything they put into the air was a challenge to field. This is far from over. The 1-2 is low. Good stop by Wohlers.
You're good, you're good.
Yeah, I don't think this game's going to end up 4-1. Just my guess.
And yes, we are getting word that Liam Morrow is warming up for Assumption in the bullpen. Another pitch out of the zone. Telecki has worked this from 0-2 all the way back to a full count. We'll change out softballs. Niji is going to try to dig down and get out of this inning.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
A strikeout here for her, I think, would go a long way, not only for her confidence, but for the team as well, to get out of this inning here with a big strikeout.
The 3-2 on the way.
Ball.
Misses. And it's a walk for Nadia Telecki. First walk of the game for Niji, and we're going to have a walk out. Here comes Ron Farrell to the circle.
You can't start pitching scared now. All right, you left a couple pitches over the plate. Now we got to go after him. All right, now she's the one that comes real aggressive on first pitch. So we still, at the same time, I'm telling you, we got to go get in the zone. We need to try to get her to chase one here. But you're fighting your rise, leaving it low now, and that's going to leave it flat, and they're going to hit it. You got to trust it and get it to jump, or this will continue. All right, let's go. Don't pitch scared. Pitch your game. Take a deep breath. Make it jump. Let's get after it. All right, know that she's their best base stealer.
Yep.
All right, we can't walk their best base stealer. Let's go.
Ron Farrell, when we told him yesterday, or Wednesday, before the game about the microphone that he would be wearing it, and I said we would use it when you go out to the circle or have an offensive conference. I don't plan going out to the circle. He had confidence in Niji. He felt that strong about her. And listening to him speak, Laura, what did you hear in what he said?
Well, I agree with everything he said, and we kind of touched on that a little bit. Do what has brought you to this ball game. Trust your stuff. Trust your pitches. And as he said, and you heard him say, you're not trusting your rise ball. You're leaving it flat. That's why they're getting to it, and they're being able to make contact, getting it off the barrel. And so I think it was just a reminder of go back to your stuff. You've done it all season long. You've done it throughout the tournament. Get into that mindset where you can believe that those pitches are going to jump or going to move the way you want them to move.
Bentley is the 7th Mustang to bat here in the second. Count even at a ball and a strike. That one's out of the zone. 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
And they're just missing by a little bit, not a lot. She's not way out of the zone. She's just off the location just by a hair.
And that one comes back in. Not really sure where it was going. Looked like Wohlers was maybe set out a little bit outside. And they go 3-1 on Bentley. Bentley in her first at-bat had a hit to right. Part of those back-to-back hits to start the game for Mount Vernon. 3-1 lifted towards left. Loken there comes in, 2 hands up, makes the grab. And the Mustangs are retired, but not before they push across. 3 more runs, and 2 of them came on this big swing by Lily C. She got it up, over, and out. And the Mount Vernon fans cheering. They're up 4-1 through an inning and a half. And the color of the Mustangs, Laura, as we look at the Assumption huddle there, the color of the Mustangs is a, you call it maroon, right? kind of looks like the Minnesota Golden Gopher maroon.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that.
The black of Assumption is part of that black and gold. Well, you've heard of Floyd of Rosedale. The original Floyd hog started as an original bet between the governors of Iowa and Minnesota in the 1930s. Now you have this art piece installed at Fort Dodge called Floyd. It's 15 feet long and 14 feet tall. Floyd on display here in Fort Dodge. So we've got public art and silos. We've now got Floyd. We got it all.
I think that's great history that that it all started here on the Rosedale farm in Fort Dodge, and we have Floyd of Rosedale. We don't know if the Floyd was being transported back and forth after the, you know, whoever won the game would get Floyd of Rosedale, or if it was some other hog. But anyway, I love the history, and as I was driving into town the other day, I knew that it was somewhere in Fort Dodge, and I drove right by it, and that thing is big, but it's pretty cool to see.
Time to go make a stop next time you come through Fort Dodge. If you're one of those younger programs who are going, someday I'm going to be playing here at Fort Dodge, so when you make the trip to get your team and take a photo there, that'd be kind of fun. Maddie Loken now behind a ball and 2 strikes. It's Maddie Loken, Libby Madden, and Lauren Loken due up for Assumption. That's 6-7, or a 5-6-7. Swing and a miss. And Loken chases. And that is the first strikeout of the game for Jenna Sprague.
Loken tried to adjust as that pitch came up into her. You can see her pull her hands back and just couldn't catch up with it. And, you know, Sprague with this 3-run lead is going to pitch with a lot of confidence. She's a confident kid anyway. When we talked to her the other day, very confident. And now that she's got that 3-run lead, you have to believe that she's going to challenge these hitters. She's going to give them their best stuff.
Libby Madden down 0-1. Next pitch called strike. 0-2. Okay, so Sprague, as you mentioned, Laura, very cryptic in what type of pitches she throws. She all would say was location. The strikeout to Loken was about location. Let's see what she does here on 0-2.
Ball.
Off the plate, but a great location. Trying to get her to chase.
Yeah, she said, I like to locate the ball. I look to Coach Brand, whatever she calls, we're going with. And Coach Brand said, we like to locate, and she usually hits her spots.
Hit up the middle, just off the reach of Sprague. Ryan throws it in, and Madden's aboard with 1 out here in the Assumption second. Gets out over the plate, kind of reached for it a little bit, made contact.
But found the gap, was able to put it right back up the middle.
That'll bring in Lauren Loken. Swung on and missed. Again, great location, low and inside. A tough place to hit.
And Lauren Loken has a little pop in her bat. Numbers don't really show what she can do, but she can barrel it up and send it a long way.
Popped up, but headed out. Foul. Not quite out, but out of the reach of Rollinger. She gave chase, and in the semifinal game, she got pretty dirty. Diving after a couple to the right, to the left. Those catchers, 2 great catchers in this one, Wohlers and Rollinger.
Well, Mount Vernon is a team that likes to get dirty, and that's what we talked to Jenna Sprague about.
And again, C calls off Rollinger. A much better play for her coming in at it. That ball kept spinning away from Rollinger, but C got it. But Laura, the theme continues. It's an adventure in the air.
It really is, and you know, you just have to keep moving, have backup behind you. Everybody on the field has to be there backing one another up, because as that ball blows away from maybe the initial person that was going to make the catch, somebody's got to be there.
Throw down to second, beat behind as Madden steals second base. So now Assumption going to kind of try to turn the heat up just a little bit. Izzy Krogman in, the sophomore. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the second. High pitch to Krogman, the sophomore. She's a .385 hitter. Stats not the full indicator of the story of this Assumption team. All can hit the ball well. I've heard other coaches and other teams amazed at what Assumption does in their warm-up drills and in their practices and watching them hit and get ready to hit. That pitch is inside. It'll even it up at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, Coach Farrell told us, you know, over past teams, they've had home run hitters and they've relied on that. They've had base stealers, they've relied on that.
Here it is.
Jeez.
But this team has a little bit of everything. They've got the pitching, they've got the speed, they've got the line drive hitters, and they've got the power. So they have been able to put it all together. They're not just relying on one aspect of the game.
Called 3rd strike on Krogman. Ends the inning and the threat. 2nd strikeout of the inning and of the game. Assumption leaves 1 stranded.
Have fun. Let's go.
Robin Brand. You heard her say have fun. Brand is a Jefferson, Iowa native. Played when it was still Jefferson Scranton, and you just heard Coach Brand say new pitcher. So what's that mean, Laura? If you're Mount Vernon, what do you do? What do you say? Get on the fence? Is that what it's?
You want to make sure that you're seeing the delivery. I'm sure they have a scouting report on her, know what she's going to throw, the kinds of pitches that she's going to throw. But if you're one of the first 3 batters up, and you can see them, they're up there timing things. They want to make sure they see where the ball is being released from her hand. They've just got to get the timing down. So they got locked in with the initial pitcher in Niji. Now you have to just make that adjustment in the middle part of the game.
Morrow, a sterling 14-1 record. She's walked 18, struck out 90, threw 88 in a 3rd inning. Opponents are batting 186 against her. So now we're going to get a chance to see. She knows the drill. She's pitched against good teams out of the MAC in Eastern Iowa. Now she just has to do it without pitching. I think she did get an inning or 2 the other night on Monday night against in the quarterfinal game against Clark. So she hasn't gone completely without pitching here at the state tournament, but still a big stage.
But she's a pitcher that could be a starting pitcher for a lot of teams. I bet she's pitching behind Bella Niji.
First pitch swung on, hit to left, going back off the glove of Loken, and it's a leadoff hitter again on Lauren Ryan. Takes the first pitch deep.
Again, going after the new pitcher, attacking on the first pitch, just off the tip of the glove of Loken, and Ryan goes cruising in to second base.
And they're going to give that an error on Loken in left field.
Good.
Pitch is in there for a strike to Jenna Sprague. Sprague in her last at-bat struck out, ended the inning in the first when Mount Vernon got their 2 leadoff runners on. They got their leadoff runners on in the second. They do it here in the third. Sprague tries to put the bunt down. Goes foul. Wohlers and Sons hop up. Sprague only a junior. A lot of the key parts of this Mount Vernon team, juniors. That pitch is outside.
Tried to get her to
1 ball, 2 strikes.
go after one, and you're just thinking with nobody out, try to get it to the right side of the field, put it in play, move that runner.
The 1-2 is popped up on the infield. Suns glove up to shade the eyes, makes the grab in fair territory. First out of the Mount Vernon third. Scott under it. Yep.
Yeah, way under it. Got it, let it get in a little too far into her, and she popped it right up.
Rolling her a double in her last at-bat. First pitch is off of her right thigh and foul. Rolling her a freshman. Another one of those multi-sport athletes from Mount Vernon. Hits this now, goes off of her own face. She's a catcher, she's used to that.
They're used to getting knocked around, getting balls hit off their knees, their shins, their chins. They're tough. Catchers are tough.
The 0-2 coming to Rollinger for Morrow. Change up, misses. Morrow, a sophomore. 22nd game, actually 23rd game of the season. Hit off her hands over the head of Morrow, who reaches back with the glove hand, makes the grab to retire Rollinger.
Really nice play by Morrow, because otherwise that's going to drop in. Able to get a good jump on that and catch that over the shoulder.
I think she's the only one that makes that play.
Yeah.
Wardlow was there, but Ashlyn Steen from the left side. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Throw down to second. Wardlow.
Great save.
You always have to be ready.
Great save, though, by Wardlow coming over. And you're right, always have to be on your toes and be ready, because Wohlers can throw it right from that crouch position from her knees.
One ball, one strike. 2 outs here in the third. Swung on, foul over the dugout, right in front of our camera on the third base dugout. Kent Sorge up on the dugout over there. Mel Campbell on the other dugout.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
They've got a little extra shade there to be able to see what's in their viewfinders. It's a little hard to do in that bright sun today. That pitch is high. Big thanks to our crew all around here, the field at Harlan Rogers. Got 2 out in center. Got 1 underneath us here below in the shade, in the breeze. I don't know if that's the best spot or it's darn close. Off-speed hit well. That is going to get down for a base hit, and another Mount Vernon run is going to score. Ryan comes to touch home on an RBI double by Ashlyn Steen.
Steen was just very methodical with that at bat. Kept the hands back, and that ball was down around the knees, and she just split the 2 outfielders, drops it in front of Anderson and Loken.
Addison Gookin had a single last at bat. See what she can do now. That pitch is called strike.
She's got some power. She hit a home run in the semifinals.
Check swing, gonna get behind. No! Great diving catch. Olivia Wardlow ends the inning. I stole Tim Fitzpatrick's line, I know, for PA.
That's all right. It was dramatic enough that it needed that little punch there, because it was a great play by Wardlow.
If I'd have asked you before we came here today, how many runs did you think we'd score, what would you say? 8, 10, 6, 9? Well, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. They have 5. Is 8 more than 5? Is 10 more than 5? Is 6 more than 5? Well, doggone it, let's put the pressure on them. But we can't sit here and pop out. We can't bat scared watching strikes go by. Now I want you toeing the chalk. I want you in the front of the box, and I want you looking to hit. There isn't enough walks coming in this game for you to come back. It's doubles. It's doubles, it's doubles, it's doubles. Let's go.
Farrell says he orders up some doubles. It's going to be hard to do against Jenna Sprague, who's been effective so far. Let's take a look at her in super slow motion, Laura.
You can see the good leg drive and the way that she gets the extension and the flip. She's got a lot of spin. She will throw a curve. She will throw a screwball. And you can see just the way that she would let go of the ball. That's how she gets the spin on those pitches.
9-1-2 to face Sprague from Assumption. They'll start with Katie Anderson, Olivia Wardlow, and Helen Sons. If anyone gets on, it'll be Anna Wohlers. 5-1 Mount Vernon here in. The bunt's put out in front, fielded by C. Over to first, in time.
It was a really nice bunt, laid down, just deadens it into the ground, but C doing a fantastic job of jumping on that right away and makes a good, strong throw.
Top of the order, Wardlow. She had a triple to lead things off for Assumption back in the first. Went all the way to right. Let's see what she can do. Team down by 4. She looks to bunt on that first offering, pulls it back. She's headed to Iowa State to play softball. She went 2 for 3 against Atlantic this week. She's fast, can swing, can slap. She's a prototypical college player at that next level. She's going to be a good one for the Cyclones.
She really is. She's going to add to that lineup. They are just building a really nice program up at Iowa State.
Did well in the Big 12, or at least what's known as the Big 12 today as we sit here. Hits it well into the air to left, but coming in is Talecki. She'll put the glove up and make the grab on a little more traditional fly ball. And the Knights are already in with 2 outs.
You know, Coach Farrell said during that huddle, how many runs did you think we'd score when we got here? Well, they scored in the first game 11 against Clark, 12 against Atlantic, and in the regionals they scored 12, 11, and 12. So, I mean, he's got a point. They can put up a lot of runs, and are all those numbers more than 5? Yes, they are. So you have a shot. You have to have that mindset. And that's why I like the way that Anderson started off this inning by laying down the bunt, trying to make something happen, trying to break things loose to get that lineup moving.
The 0-2 coming to Sons off the plate. Now, there is a school of thought, Laura, if it's not working to hit, let's bunt.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
But when you have a great defensive team, that part of the game that gets you back into it is removed. Popped up, foul, and out of play.
You have to be able, and you heard him say doubles, 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 and that is something that, yes, it'd be nice to have doubles, but string singles together as well. Lay down a bunt. You got to have a mix of things, and you got to have a little luck on your side as well.
Hit in the air towards left, drifting back is Bentley, calls off Talecki to retire the side. The Knights go 1-2-3. Not very often does that happen. As we see Bentley, she can run the open field as a soccer player, did a pretty good job as a defender there at shortstop. Robin Brand's crew
Good.
up 5-1.
Stay disciplined up there. Make sure you're timing the new pitcher here for you.
Well, she just stated one of her keys. Stay disciplined at the plate. And they have been all day long. I think they've been locked in at the plate and have had a really good approach against Niji to start this ball game. And now the new pitcher, second inning, get another chance to take a look at her, but first time for a lot of these hitters.
Need a little bit of shade if you manufacture it with, say, an umbrella. Earlier this week, I had an umbrella that went up into the air and drifted out towards the pines. But a lot of people at that top row looking for some breeze, and they're getting it. It's still pretty strong out of the south as they try to find shade. We've lost a few of the classic trees here on Diamond 1. They've replanted some of those pines out in the outfield. So it's a little more of a sun-soaked afternoon, Friday afternoon here in Fort Dodge as we get ready to go to the 4th inning, top of the 4th. We're under the shade of the bleachers, which didn't always used to be here. They're part of the renovations at the complex. It used to be if you were on the TV side or radio side, you were in the wide open elements.
Ball.
And needed a lot of sunscreen.
Big hat.
And a big hat.
Schwartz and Druber, C and Telecki. If anybody gets on Bentley, that's 8-9-1 for Mount Vernon. First pitch from Morrow is a ball. Second one is high as well. I was looking at, I wanted to discuss Mount Vernon's schedule just a tiny little bit. They lost to Norwalk, Williamsburg, West Delaware, Northeast. Norwalk was in the region, or Williamsburg was in the state tournament. West Delaware lost in the regional final. Foul ball there at the plate. Northeast was at the state tournament last year. But the conference is full of, the WAMAC East is full of classic teams here. Benton, Clear Creek, Amana, Solon, Marion. And then you look at the non-conference that Mount Vernon's had, as that pitch is hit foul right in front of Coach Brand. Games against that are out of conference: Perry, ADM, Nevada, Ames, New Hampton. So these teams, Laura, that go and try to find other opponents, yes, it might give you a loss or two, but it benefits you on big stages like this. And I think you could make a case that maybe Mount Vernon was absolutely ready for this state game.
I think they were and they are. I think that not only does the scheduling help, but I think it's a team that has a lot of team chemistry right now, and they have all banded together and are all clicking on the same page. And as Coach Brand said, they're all heartbeat is beating as one with this team.
Nice grab there by Krogman at third. Just right at the bag, and that'll bring in Lily C. Her last hit was a big one, a 2-run homer back in the second. First pitch strike. C, 4-sport athlete as well. Ran in 4 state track events. The shuttle hurdle, the 4x2, the 4x4, and the distance med. So not only power, but I'm going to say speed.
I'd go with speed if you're running on the 4x2 and the 4x4. And probably the shuttle hurdle, that's one of the tougher events. Only thing tougher, I think, is the 400 hurdles.
We shall not speak of the 400 hurdles. The 0-2.
Ball.
Misses. 5-7-0 for Mount Vernon, 1-2-1 for Assumption here in the fourth. There's a look at the spin from Morrow. Gets it up against her hip. Gets it in the glove. Fires.
Ball.
Misses. The 2-2 on the way. Hit in the air, well to left, but it's gonna stay in the park and be caught by Loken this time.
Good chase, Troy. Good chase.
And even though that looked a little more routine, I think it was still an adventure out there.
I was impressed how quick you got out there. Hey, here we go, Nuts.
There you hear Robin Brand. You heard Brian Cole's audio saying, you know, talking to his crew. Robin Brand talking to the crew. I mean, it's all about, this is, the umpiring crew is not they use 3-person crews in the tournaments, the postseason, and at state, and it does take a little bit of an adjustment about rotations, and it is a little bit of a challenge. And
But Coach Brand very complimentary of the officials and letting them know that. And, you know, a lot of times you see the coaches and the umpires kind of going toe-to-toe and arguing about things, questioning calls, but everybody's out here backing one another up, complimenting each other, and we've had a really great umpiring crew here all week long.
The 1-1. Fouled right into the fence of the third base dugout. Bridles down to the camera well. Nadia Telecki. Look closely, and you're like, she looks like a player I've seen before. Maybe played for Lisbon, maybe in the Hall of Fame. Nadia's mother, Paige Stamp. Great player at Lisbon. She hits it a little nubber back to first and is retired. Mount Vernon goes 1-2-3. Great scoop and score, or put out by Krogman over to Sons. As Assumption will huddle up before they go into the dugout to get their helmets on, and we're going to continue on the public art theme, and this is the silo that is on side of the old grain storage facility. Not a grain bin as much as it is this is the largest art mural in the state, and it does depict agriculture and food from around the world, and I'm told those are actual Iowans, and that part I did not know on that one. But this one was featured by one of our drone views that you've seen around Fort Dodge and other parts of the state, part of the other part of the program here on Iowa PBS. Thank you for that great work. Blue sky day when that was shot, and it's a windy. You can see the pines in the back waving just a little bit. The fans for Mount Vernon are smiling. They're up 5-1 as a great hit right down the line for Anna Wohlers. She's going to dig for second. Here comes the throw. The tag misses, and it's a double for Anna Wohlers. That is what the Knights needed.
It's exactly the spark that they needed, and you're going to get the courtesy runner coming in as Wohlers turns the corner and gets to second base.
Courtesy for my catcher. 27 for the catcher. Thank you.
Steen gets over there quickly, makes a nice throw in, made it very close over there at second, the head first slide, and she gets the hand in just ahead of the tag.
27, courtesy for the catcher.
So the courtesy runner will be Jessie Wardlow, the sophomore. So we get everything situated there, Mr. Cole. Thank you. So that'll bring up Sid Rowe. Popped up to second in her last trip. Watches that first pitch go up high.
Go back to the last inning where Coach Farrell said we need doubles, doubles, doubles. Well, took an inning to sink in, I think, and Wohlers comes up and starts them off with a big double. See if they can build off of this and change the momentum.
Well, and Coach Farrell talked about the bottom of the order, and that's coming up. I mean, we're at the middle right now, the 4 spot with Rowe. She rips that one down the left field line, foul by about 2 feet, maybe a foot and a half. Rowe, a power hitter, hits the line drives when they need, and she certainly has that bat exhibited on that play right there. Let's see what she does here.
She's had a great tournament coming into this ball game. 3 for 6 in the first 2 games with 5 RBI and 2 home runs.
Hit a home run in the quarterfinal against Clark and the semifinal against Atlantic. The 2-2. Popped up high, heading towards short. Bentley, right on the lip where the grass and the dirt meet, squeezes it. Out 1.
Out number 1. Coming to the plate, shortstop, Eddie Loken.
Loken bats now. Struck out in the second. Bats with a runner at second here in the 4th. Maddie, the sister to Lauren. A couple of family connections here and there on these 2 teams, and we'll have a couple of those as the day goes on. Hit to left, coming in, making the grab is Telecki. Not nearly as many family connections as we had last night in that 1A game with Newell Fonda, Laura. You know, we had them in the basketball championship this year. A lot of the same girls. Brad Wells had all of the lineage down.
He's from there, though.
Yeah, he had home court advantage, and he did admit that at the end, the Fonda native.
He's from there, yeah. Made his homework easy.
Yes. He could go to a whole nother level that I not sure I could do. First pitch to Libby Madden is a strike. Madden 1 for 1. single with a back in the second in her at-bat there.
She also has had a good tournament, 4 for 5 coming into this ball game.
It's at high, going back towards center. Grabbing it is Ryan. Lauren Ryan. Lauren Ryan will bat second when we return. Mount Vernon in the lead.
Hi, I'm Bill Riley, and I can't wait for Fair 2021 to begin. For 5 decades, Iowa PBS has brought you in-depth coverage of the great Iowa State Fair. Entertainment, competitions, livestock, food, and fun. We bring the magic of the State Fair right into your living room. It all starts August 16th with nightly coverage at 9 o'clock. It's a full hour of highlights for 6 nights in a row. See the fair like you won't see it anywhere else, only on statewide Iowa PBS.
This month in Passport on the PBS Video app, your on-demand library for the best of PBS.
This is the point where you reveal I'm not even human.
Wow! Oh my goodness!
Mentally, we're extremely fit. We have this incredible ability to adapt and persevere.
What Ballet Trocadero has done over the years is turned ballet kind of on its head.
These and other shows from your PBS station are available with Passport on the PBS Video app. Download it today.
The Mustangs riding high right now, 5-1. Their lead, they scored in the first 3 innings. They got the leadoff hitter aboard in each of those 3 innings. Last inning, they went 1-2-3 against new pitcher Morrow. We'll see what Bentley, Ryan, and Sprague can do. That's 2-3-4 for Mount Vernon. Along with Laura Leonard, I'm Paul Yeager. Glad to have you here in this Class 3A state championship game as we progress to the top of the 5th inning. Bentley, first pitch ball.
You know, we talk to these players and coaches, and what we understand is the team is very superstitious. They have to do a lot of the same things. They're not wearing their dark pants like they wore in the semifinals, but if they wore those, they are ripped to shreds, but they won't get them sewn up. They won't get them fixed. They want to play with them that way, but they're wearing the whites today. But Bentley's a player that has worn the same socks since she was an 8th grader. And I can't even imagine what they look like if they're down to the bare threads, what they smell like. I'm assuming she's had them washed, but she has worn those for every softball game that she has played in here for Mount Vernon.
The 1-2 is a called third strike.
Well, the Lucky Sox didn't come through for her there, but Morrow bearing down, throwing a really good located pitch on the outside corner.
That'll bring in Lauren Ryan, and I teased a tiny little bit. I do have one family note I need to mention here. Lauren Ryan is the 4th Ryan to play for Mount Vernon. Her mom and dad, Dave and Heidi. Dave tweeted right as Mount Vernon qualified for state. He says, "We've been as a family to approximately 100 varsity seasons and 50+ state tournament games. For track, for softball, for volleyball, throw in whatever you want." Now the question is, you asked me if I could remember all the Ryans, and I couldn't, so I had to look it up. Emily, Sarah, and Libby. And this is Lauren, and she's up 2-0.
And Sarah and Libby played for my alma mater, Drake University.
2 balls, 1 strike.
And Libby is on the coaching staff here as well. Has been with Coach Brand since the 8th grade year. So as a player all the way through, and is now coaching with her as well.
Ryan fouls that one into the net.
And I believe Libby's going to take advantage of the extra NCAA rule that she's going to get to play an extra year. I think she's going to come back to play at Drake for 1 more year, and I think the Bulldogs are very happy about that.
The 2-2 coming to Lauren Ryan. Hit in the air towards right. Coming in is Rowe to make the grab. Sid makes the catch, and that'll bring in the pitcher, Jenna Sprague.
That'll bring up pitcher Jenna Sprague.
The school record for strikeouts was 367 coming in to the semifinal game. Foul, or I thought that was off her. Off the hands into ground ball fielded by Loken, over and out, and Mount Vernon goes 1-2-3.
Awful hard to keep this in check, and our offense is not working hard at executing the game plan.
I said you're looking to attack your low pitches. You're staying off the high pitches. You're quitting playing dodgeball. We have to make her uncomfortable. Right now she's uncomfortable, or she's comfortable. You get on that freaking truck and put your elbow and you get hit. You look to drive the low pitch, and if you take the pitch, you turn around, you call timeout, and you tell the umpire the freaking towel is distracting you. I don't care if it is or not.
As the Assumption fans and the Mount Vernon fans stand as the 5th inning stretch takes place here. We are getting to an interesting point of the ball game right now, Laura, because the game still 5, 6, 7 to go for Assumption, but it is go time.
It is. Right now, it's you got to make something happen, and you could see and hear and feel the intensity in that huddle. And Coach Farrell trying to get his team to understand that they need to be running the game plan at the plate, go after pitches that are in the zone, execute, and start making some things happen. They aren't, to me, after watching them play, they aren't as aggressive at the plate. They don't seem as comfortable at the plate as they have in previous games. And so I think they need to get that mindset back to where they have that level of confidence of stepping into the box knowing that they're going to hit the ball and get the base hit. And that's where they need to be here for these next few innings.
Well, and there's probably a good reason that they've been uncomfortable. It's the pitcher, Jenna Sprague.
Yeah.
She has been, I won't quite say lights out, but she's given up 3 hits to an incredibly power-hitting team.
She has really kept them off balance, and again, it's just a situation of working the game plan, knowing the scouting report.
Well hit to center, at the wall, over the fence, home run, Lauren Loken. That'll get you going.
Well, there's a little bit of spark that they were looking for. And very much like the home run that we saw from Lily C. earlier for Mount Vernon, there's a pitch up in the zone, and she was able to get it at the top and drive it.
All right.
You could see it sail out, and that's the spark that you always look for when you're down in a game, and it just takes one little thing like that, a base hit, something to change the momentum. And Mount Vernon is going to huddle in the circle, try to gather their thoughts and get back. They know they still have that cushion. They've got that 3-run lead, but they also know how potent this Assumption lineup is.
Abby O'Dean is going to pinch hit here. And I was going to say, Laura, as you were talking, you made me think about what you said in the open about keys. 7, 8, 9. Guess what place hitter Loken is? 7.
Yeah, and he said that's what they've had all tournament long.
All right.
Lower part of the order production.
So O'Dean, also a pitcher on the team. First pitch strike. O'Dean as a batter through this season has hit .316. Couple of RBIs, 6 hits. This is her 20th at bat coming into the tournament. She's down 0-1 to Sprague. That pitch is a strike. Fans from Assumption starting to make a little bit more noise to our left. Mount Vernon making a little more to our right. Swung on, popped up, foul. I'm not sure anybody of these track team was going to get to that one.
No, there is a lot of speed out there, but that was far enough away from everybody. It was going to fall to the ground.
So the hair dye is a thing for Assumption, and we saw something, Laura, in the open. Some of the fans have it, and they're all kind of, that was a big thing. That's been a thing Assumption's done for a number of years. But when Ron Farrell took his hat off to be introduced, he had red hair.
I don't think I've ever seen that before out of him. He very cautiously took the cap off. Didn't want to reveal a whole lot that he did have the red hair dye in.
Swing and a miss for O'Dean. First out of the inning. Just away, didn't get both hands on the bat, kind of a one-handed swing. Up the middle base hit. Katie Anderson, the 9th-place hitter, comes through for Assumption.
She has been a spark for them in that number 9 spot since regional play. Comes up aggressive, shoots it right back up the middle to keep things going. In regional play, she was 5 for 9 with 4 RBIs and it's hitting over 500. And in the quarterfinals, 1 for 2, semifinals 1 for 2, or excuse me, 1 for 2 with a double. So she is a player that has been hitting the ball very well.
Stolen base as Wardlow did the swing to kind of just throw off rolling her just enough, and it worked. Stolen base for Anderson. She's down to second. So a runner in scoring position.
1 strike.
So this is how you manufacture the run. You get the base hit, you steal the base.
Gets the bunt down, and it's a beauty. Stops a foot in place, throw high, and it's gonna be safe at first. Brand had to go up for it. Foot left the base by no more than 4 to 6 inches, just in time for Wardlow to touch that base. Look at that bunt, Laura.
That is perfect. It spins in the dirt, and yes, it did bring Brand off the bag, but I think that she had beaten it anyway. Now see if they move her down to second base.
Well, this has been the effect of bunts, singles, 1 home run, but the tying run, it's at the plate. Helen Sons, high in the air, pop up on the infield though. Catch is made by C of Sons. Out number 2, but a huge opportunity for the catcher, Anna Wohlers.
Wardlow was moving on the pitch, so I don't know if it was a hit and run, but she was moving, or if Sons was supposed to take a pitch to allow Wardlow to get to second base. Either way, runner's still at the corner and a hot hitter up at the plate.
First pitch ripped down the right field line. It's going to go all the way to the fence. 1 run in. Here comes the second, digging for third. The throw is cut off. And Anna Wohlers, back-to-back doubles, and Assumptions within a run, 5-4.
Time.
Never any doubt about what Wohlers was going to do. Confidence. She's going after that first pitch. Kept her nose right on it, turns on it, keeps it inside the right field line. You get 1 run in, they send the second one, and I think there was a little confusion as the ball comes in from right field as to exactly where they needed to throw. I think they thought the runner might hold at third, and that's where they were looking. She'd already rounded third and was coming home, and so that pushes them 1 run closer. And how about that pep talk that Coach Farrell had for them? I think it paid off.
There's a little bit of give and take with coaches and broadcasters. And we have a little bit of one with Coach Farrell. And we had not had a chance to talk to him. First pitch swung, ripped down the line by Sid Rowe. And we had finished, Laura and I had finished talking to the Assumption players, and Coach Farrell was just kind of standing there looking at us, going, I was sure hoping I was going to get to talk to you. You're my favorite part of the tournament. Now, he could just be playing a line with this, but he also knows that means he's in the state championship game. They know how to get there. They've been in this position a lot. 5th title game in the last 6 years. Swung on and missed by Rowe, who's 0 for 2 in this game. They were champs in 17, in 18, in 19. They were 3rd last year. They were playing on the last day, just on the other diamond. They're playing now to win, where it looked like earlier in the game they were playing to lose, not to lose.
And they were. Their whole demeanor was just, they were a little tight, and they weren't the team playing with the level of enthusiasm and confidence that we've seen them play over the rest of the week.
Talk about hitting is contagious, and it clearly is for Assumption right now. The runner at third is the courtesy runner, Wardlow. Swung on and missed, strike three. Another strikeout, but not before Assumption strikes for 3 runs on a home run and an RBI triple by Wohlers. We've had a lot of runs scored. Kind of thought maybe some experts thought it was going to be all Assumption, but early on it was all Mount Vernon. First and third situation, you're like, okay, 1-0, that's no big deal. And then it's a punt. And then we're tied at 1 just like that with Assumption as Wardlow scored there. Then in the second, Mount Vernon got going. Rollinger a double. Gookin a single. Schwarzenjuber a single. Then a 2-run homer by Lily C. Oh, say can you see it go over the fence. It was 4-1 at that time. Mount Vernon would add a run in the third inning. Right here on Steen's double that plated Lauren Ryan. And then Assumption comes back here in the fifth. The home run by Lauren Loken that just kept going. And then it was a single by the 9th-place hitter, a bunt infield, and then a rip down the right field line by Anna Wohlers. And just like that, Assumption's back in 5-4. And that's where we sit as we go to the 6th inning. 5-7-1 for Mount Vernon, 4-6-1 for Assumption. Crooked numbers, Laura. Both teams have crooked numbers. Now you got to see what the pitching can do. It's still going to be Morrow in the circle for Assumption.
I think a little bit of relief for Assumption now back out in the defensive part of the ball game, knowing that the confidence level there and their number 2 pitcher, but she's done a really good job since she's come in from the bullpen of slowing down this Mount Vernon team.
Rollinger rolls over on it, fielded by Morrow, over to Sons for the out. So Steen will come in, 1 for 2, a double her last at bat. Steen from the left, bat on the shoulder, now up in the air, swings at the first one. And gets a piece of it.
Now I think we're at the point in the ball game where we talked a little bit about the bats. These teams could score a lot of runs. We talked about how they outscored their opponents coming into this ball game. Now I think it gets down to a pitcher's duel these last few innings. I think it's going to be all up to the pitchers to hit their spots, make the good pitches, let the defense work behind them, but don't leave anything out over the plate that anybody can drive.
Morrow has come in and gotten ahead, and she got that corner to work, and she put that one up high.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
There's always pressure on the starting pitcher, but what about on that relief pitcher that has to come in?
No, there is pressure, but in every game there is pressure. You've got to either hold a lead or you're coming in because your starting pitcher has given up a lot of runs, and so you have to try to keep your team in it, wait for those bats to wake up, which is exactly what has happened here for Assumption. So now, I don't think in those middle part innings there was a whole lot of pressure, but I think now you get to this 1-run ball game. I think both pitchers might get a little tight. There's a lot at stake, and you want to get into the element and go back to what feels comfortable, but sometimes those nerves get the best of you.
Steen swings and hits it foul down the left field line. And we'll do the 2-2 again. State championships are not supposed to be easy. They are a game of attrition. You get through a season, you stay healthy, or you have someone step up, and then you get to here and you got to put together 3 wins against the best in the state. The 2-2 is punched to the right side or left side, over to the right side. Across the diamond is Krogman to retire Steen.
Nice job, and Krogman let that ball come to her, but showed off the arm and sends a bullet across the diamond over to Suns.
Morrow has retired the last 9 Mount Vernon batters that she's faced. Addison Gukin was the first. Looks at a first pitch strike.
And going back to that last play, you had Krogman making the good throw, but Suns over there with the good glove making the pick. Good, sure-handed first baseman, not committed an error all season, and it's the kind of player that you want at first base that has the good soft hands, that can pick balls out of the dirt, go up high, keep the toe on the bag, and that's what Suns provides for Assumption.
Gukin, the 1-1 to her. Popped up right at home. Catcher Morrow comes in. 10 in a row retired. Mustangs go down 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and the Knights down by 1, feeling a whole lot more confident.
You have to want to be in the box right now, girls. If you don't want to be in the box, if you don't want to execute game plan, you let me know, because we got girls on the bench that do. You have to want to be there. This is the times heroes are made. All right, you don't get chances like this very often in a lifetime. Right now is your chance to be a hero. Want to be in the box. Let's go.
Let's go. Here we go.
Did I just hear the miracle speech? This is our time. That's the only line he didn't give almost. That's a great speech.
You know, and it's true, though. I mean, at this point in time, you don't want to shy away from this situation as an athlete. You want to be the one to step into that box to start the rally or get the big hit to tie up this ball game. And if you have any fear of that, I agree with him. Let him know. Let somebody else take your spot. I'm going to tell you, every one of those athletes in both dugouts would say, no, coach, put me in the box. Give me a bat. Give me a helmet. I'm going up and hitting.
This is where heroes are made. These are where lifetime memories happen. This is an opportunity for Jenna Sprague right now, the junior. She gets her teammates going. Yeah, the bats have gone silent, but here's the advantage the Mustangs have, Laura. They're up a run.
Up a run, and Sprague knows her stuff is good, and she has command of her pitches. They just got to her the last inning. Now she's got to set the tone right away.
Maddie Loken, first pitch swing is off the glove in foul territory. Brand had trouble with it. She went over her shoulder. Not an easy play. Foul ball. New life for Maddie Loken.
If you're Mount Vernon, you hope that doesn't come back to haunt you. And it almost would have been a better play for Gukin coming in from behind. Had a better angle on that.
The 0-1. Hit towards right and off the glove of Steen. To the fence. It's going to be a stand-up double. Maddie Loken leads it off for the Knights. Every play looms large late in the game, especially ones like this.
Gets the reprieve and gets back into the box after the dropped foul ball. Hits a laser beam out to right center field, and picking up coach on the way around. He holds her up there at second base, and they're in business.
Libby Madden shows bunt, gets it down. Fielded by third, thrown in the dirt into right field, and we're going to have a tie game. Maddie Loken come on down to score. Going to second on the air is Madden, and we're tied at 5.
Time!
And that's the pressure of the moment, getting to the players. Assumption sat back, let the game come to them, able to string hits together. Great bunt. And the ball just thrown into the dirt by C. Gets by Brand over there at first. And we're all tied up.
Lauren Loken will get a chance here, as you see into that dugout. A whole lot think I just saw something go up into the air, and that's all that pressure that was in that Assumption dugout. Now the momentum clearly in Assumption's favor, but if you're Mount Vernon, it's just a new game now. We're zeros.
Well, now we're just a 2-inning game, basically, but they're starting out with a runner on second base.
Loken shows bunt, gets it down, hits it twice. She was in the box, so it's a foul ball. Went up, came back down. You know, a couple of those bunts I didn't get a chance to say earlier. There was the one bunt, I just don't remember which one it was. The bunt, the bat was a foot to the right, the ball was 6 inches to the right, and then there was the line. I mean, there was a lot going on in that, and that's how accurate these players are.
Yes,
that
she did.
Pitch is swung out, throw to third, stopped by Bentley, who was covering because C was crashing on the bunt. But the most important part for Assumption is Madden is now at third. Here comes Madden. They quickly throw to her. The 0-2 to Loken. Lauren swings, hits it to center, back towards Ryan, makes the grab. She'll throw home, not in time, and it is the first lead of the game for Assumption. 6-5 here in the 6th.
Doing what you need to do at the plate, putting it in play, knowing that the runner's on third base, gets it up in the air. And good job going back and tagging up, waiting for that ball to be caught.
Popped up on the bunt. It's in fair territory. Tell you what, Rollinger's got to let that one go because that would have been foul. But you want to make the play. You're trying to end this rally and step up and make that play, and I think almost everybody else would do the same thing.
Yeah, that's just a quick judgment. It happened so fast. Everything was right in front of her. And this, you're right. I think the spin on the ball would have taken it foul.
Ball.
But you want to get that second out so badly. And instead, now runner at first with 1 out.
So Izzy Krogman, who had been pinch hit for the last time she was up, comes up with a bunt hit. Katie Anderson gets another chance. Shows bunt, throws, the throw down to Rollinger, down to second. Not in time, stolen base. I just heard someone say all day, and that's, I think, what you could say, that's what Coach Farrell would say. We'll do it all day. Now, Assumption,
1 ball, 1 strike.
Early on, any bunt was fielded cleanly and everything was going Mount Vernon's way. Now it's just maybe the pressure of the moment started to arrive. Or things just fall differently. Balls are weird, they bounce.
I think there's a little pressure, but I just think that the mindset at the plate and the approach at the plate for Assumption is way different here in these last few innings. They were tentative at the plate through the first 4 innings, and then all of a sudden they explode.
Fourth strikeout of the game is the second out of the inning of Anderson in the top of the order. Olivia Wardlow up. Hit towards left, that's gonna get down. Coming around to score is gonna be Krogman, 7-5 on an RBI double by Olivia Wardlow, hitting dead red on the first pitch.
They just have made the adjustment at the plate, and they have been able to go out and get the ball on the outside part of the plate, take it the opposite way, find the gap, knock in another run.
Helen Sons will come to the plate. She bats from the left side here with 2 outs. That pitch catches the corner. What a good one we've had here in game 1. This is just 1 of 3 today. That pitch is a strike from Sprague. Due up in the 7th inning, 8-9-1 for Mount Vernon. One of those batters is Lily C., who's hit a home run, so not all. Pop fly on the infield is dropped. Coming home to score is Wardlow for the 8th run. You're running with 2 outs until you're stopped. And that was a hard play right there in front of the plate.
Well, we go back to what the wind did in the first couple of innings on those high fly balls. We saw several of them in the first couple of innings that the infielders had trouble pulling those ones in.
What are you today, BB3? 3 for 37.
We're going to see.
3 for 37. Thank you.
Hey, you've been perfect all day on staying flat. We got to do it one more time.
All right, that'll bring up Anna Wohlers. We're going to have going down is Bella Stoffregan.
Substitute, 3 for 37. 3 for 37.
All right, I have to talk real quick about Anna Wohlers because she's hit the first 2 pitches of her at bat. Notice in her glove, there's no gloves where she holds that bat. Very rarely do you see a player bat without batting gloves. She says, I love the feel of the bat. It's worked. She hits the first pitch again. Well hit to right, over the wall. A home run, Anna Wohlers.
Take it to 3, Troy. You got it to 3, Troy.
She's had a double, and a home run on 3 pitches and blows the game open now for Assumption.
I bet she liked the feel of that one going off the bat. No batting gloves. You're right. It's a rarity that hitters don't wear gloves, but she likes the feel and the adjustment and a great swing going after the first pitch, being aggressive in all 3 of her at-bats. And the DePaul commit is having herself a game.
She says it was going to be a bittersweet day to put that uniform on that says Knights for one final time. At this point, she's up 10-5. She's not feeling
the reason I'm back here.
Real bittersweet. She's feeling pretty strong right now about this team. 5-1, Mount Vernon had the lead, and now Assumption has scored 9 straight. Popped up, but trouble. Lauren goes in. Lauren Ryan makes the grab to end the inning, and that was 9 Knights sent to the plate. And it's down to the final 3 for Mount Vernon.
But think of what kind of a leader Wohlers is.
We're gonna do it together. Come on, come on.
She is the one that when they needed somebody to provide a spark, she did. She started off the 4th inning with the double.
This is just the 6th inning, Laura. Maddie Loken, and then there was an error. Then Lauren Loken had the sac fly, and that tied it. Izzy Krogman would come around to score. And then there was another RBI by Olivia Wardlow and another error, and then Anna Wohlers. There's the one error that went off of C that allowed another run, and then Anna Wohlers put an exclamation point on. I think they've started to put her name on the all-tournament team, and maybe they're going to put a C next to her after the performance she's had today.
Yeah, I would say so. And talk about making short work of your at-bats. You know, somebody wanting to be in the box, she did, but she wanted to get out of the box quickly as well, so went after first pitches. And I was talking about the fact that, you know, Coach Farrell had that little speech, and she got up there and started off their rally right from the beginning with the double.
For number 6 in the 7th spot.
27 for 6.
27 for 6.
All right, thank you.
So Jessie Wardlow is going to go out to left. To play
27 for 6. 27 for 6.
10-5, Assumption. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs in the 6th for Assumption. They've scored 3 in the 5th, 5 in the 6th. Huge inning.
Talk about an explosion of runs.
Lauren Schwartzendruber, first pitch right at the new left fielder, Wardlow. And just like that, the streak of 10 in a row, actually 11 in a row, is broken on a hit by Schwartzendruber.
1 for 15.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
So the Mustangs not going away anywhere.
1 for 15. 1 for 15.
So running now is Sydney Schultz for Schwartzendruber. Lily C, she's had a home run back in the second.
So a lot of ground to make up now for Mount Vernon. So smart on the base paths, smart at the plate, show that discipline, try to keep things moving, get the lineup, continue to move, string together hits, and that's got to be the mindset right now.
The pitch
Ball
is low. Class 3A state championship game. A lot of years you can just pencil in Assumption into this game. They've been in this position before, but they have not had games like this one where they've had to claw back down 4. They've had to play after midnight 5 years ago. Anna Wohlers was on that team as an 8th grader. Swing and a miss by C.
One ball, 2 strikes.
C trying to extend the inning. Down 1-2, the pitch.
Ball.
Outside. And let's remember, this is not the starting pitcher for Assumption. This is Leah Morrow, the sophomore. Next player in. Where have we heard that one before?
Yeah, and what a great job she did. She came in and kept them right at bay, kept her team in it, and then they had the huge innings afterwards. But she is, you know, Mount Vernon came in with a lot of confidence at the plate, and they were on fire and stringing hits and knocking in runs.
In the box.
And she's just completely shut all that down.
The 2-2 is hit towards right. They're going to double off the courtesy runner, and just like that, a double play puts the Knights an out away from a state championship.
Yeah, wanting to be aggressive as a base runner, gets a little too far off base, and it's an easy double play for Assumption.
It's up to the granddaughter of a Hall of Fame coach, the daughter of a Hall of Famer, Nadia Talecki. She's a junior, power hitter. She's a great track and basketball athlete, such a team leader, such a mindset. What's in her mind right now with 2 outs here in this state championship game? Trying to extend it. The first pitch, strike from Morrow.
Thinking base hit or walk. Just want to continue to extend this inning. And Morrow's just going to go after her. Try to get the strikeout.
The 0-1. Swung on and missed. And the Mustangs are down to their last strike. So we tick after 4 o'clock on Friday, July the 23rd, 2021. Mount Vernon up 5-1 in this game. Assumption has been on fire. Ground ball to the right side, but foul. Talecki. The pitch from Morrow. Pop foul behind. We'll do it again.
Just battling at the plate. Try to stay alive. Give herself another opportunity.
Bentley waits on deck, hoping to get a chance. The 0-2.
Ball.
Misses.
Oh, man. What a great pitch, and takes a lot of guts to take that pitch. I thought Morrow had her on the outside corner.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Morrow winds and fires. Ground ball, left side, shortstop. Loken over to first, not in time. The inning extends. Another link in the chain. Now Maya Bentley. Slow roller.
And it was hard to even have to be able to try to charge that because Loken was having to go to the third base side. I don't think she could get the angle to come in and charge that. And because it was that slow roller, allowed Telecki to hustle down the line.
Bentley, first pitch low. Bentley 1 for 3. Had a double back in the first. Ground ball up the middle, off the glove, over to first for the out, and the state championship. The redemption tour hits a high note. Assumption, your champions in 3A in 2021.
A lot of emotion. They didn't make it last year, but they come back this year. They get the championship, and talk about a comeback for the ages. They were down, and Mount Vernon had all the momentum. They didn't panic. Got a nice little pep talk from coach, and they produced when they got into the box, and boy, did the runs come. They let loose, and the floodgates opened, and they were able to come out on top. We'll get a look at the final out of the ball game. And Davenport Assumption, state champs again.
Loken to Suns is how it ends. Assumption scored 3 runs in the 5th, 6 runs in the 6th. Let's meet your all-tournament team.
For the award ceremony, presenting the Class 3A all-tournament team medals is Farm Bureau representative Mark Buskell. From Davenport Assumption, Sydney Rowe. From Assumption, Bella Niji. From Clark, Tori Henry. From Atlantic, Olivia Engler. From Williamsburg, Carly Campbell. From Williamsburg, Charlotte Weegen. From Mount Vernon, Nadia Telecki. From Assumption Catholic, Libby Madden. From Mount Vernon, Addison Gukin. From Mount Vernon, Jenna Sprague. And your Class 3 all-tournament team captain, from Assumption Catholic, Anna Wohlers.
Wooler's the no doubt on the captain after the 3 pitches she saw. Double home run in this game. She's played every position on the field, it seems. She had the 2nd most home runs coming into the tournament. Gonna play at the next level. She placed in the state track meet in shot put. Now she gets a medal that says state champion again and captain of the all-tournament team.
Well, and coming into this tournament, 3-time All-State selection as well, and I think probably just cemented another nomination to the All-State team.
She's going to study business and sports management. She managed to get the business taken care of and get them into the win. Great come-from-behind performance.
Now for our trophy presentation. In addition to receiving medallions, every participating player will receive a commemorative softball provided by Iowa Farm Bureau, title sponsor of the Girls Athletic Union. Presenting awards are members of the IGHSAU Board of Directors, Greg Defoe, Deanne Kramer, Travis Fleshner, and Ron Fodness. Congratulations to the runners-up in Class 3A, head coach Robin Brand and the Mount Vernon Mustangs on an outstanding 2021 softball season. And presenting your 2021 Class 3A State Softball Champions, head coach Ron Farrell and the Knights from Assumption Catholic.
Laura, I thought it, I don't know if I actually said this out loud, but an hour ago, if you would have told me Assumption would be, if I would have told you Assumption was going to be hoisting the trophy, would you have looked at me funnier than normal? Than you normally look at me?
With the lead that Mount Vernon had, I would have said, yeah, that's a little crazy, but they got their mindset right at the plate in those last 3 innings. They were able to come through. The big bats provided the pop, and they were able to overcome that big lead.
Well, thank you very much, Laura Leonard. And the Assumption Knights are going to take that championship trophy back with them along I-80. Anna Wohlers, your captain of the all-tournament team. Huge performance by her. 3-run 5th, a 6-run 6th, a 10-5 win for Assumption. Congratulations to Mount Vernon. Runners-up, great performance there and a great season. We're just getting started. The Assumption Knights are your state champs. We're going to have a new champion coming up in 4A at 5 o'clock. But for now, for all of us here at Iowa PBS, saying congratulations to the Assumption Knights. They are your 3A state champions.
Funding provided by...
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we're committed to our foundation of personalized service while treating our customers like family and valuing our employees. Fairway Meat and Grocery. That's what we're all about.
By Musco Lighting, the sports lighting specialists, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community.